say that most of us who've stepped into the world of divorce and family mediation are on our second careers. I would call it a second act, and that was certainly the case for me. I had been a commercial real estate broker for 18 years, and one of the last gigs that I had was as the leasing director for a building in the garment center. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was actually being trained as a mediator during those years that I worked in that building. I was busy working with the owners of the building. I was brokering deals with the outside brokers, and in the middle of all of this, we were dealing with construction in the building and the tenants in the building. It was a crazy, wonderful job. And at the time that I was working there, it was so crazy for me, in fact, that every week when I'd be sitting on the train coming home, I was wondering how much longer I was going to be able to work at this job. And at the same time, in my mind, I was quitting that job every week. One day, I'm sitting on the train coming home, and I was just thinking about a particularly arduous negotiation that was going on at the time. And I realized that what I was doing was more than just brokering the deal. I was actually using the skills that I've later found out are the skills that you need as a mediator. On the one hand, you had to bring the parties together to find common ground. On the other hand, you had to satisfy the worries and the concerns and all the myriad things that could break the deal in half and leave it on the floor. And hold their hand and walk them through it and make sure at the end of the day that a deal was closed. So I thought about that, and while I was sitting on the train, it occurred to me that at some point I was going to be doing something much bigger with those skills than just brokering deals. And ultimately, that's what happened. I started to think about the different ways that I could use those skills and use it in a way that really made a difference in people's lives. And so the search began for me. I found out about mediation in a really strange way. I was reading an article in the Long Island newspaper, the Long Island Business News, in fact, and every week they profile a different industry. This particular week, I pick it up, and there was an article about matrimonial attorneys and elder care attorneys. And embedded throughout that article was the word mediation and mediators. And I thought, that sounds like something I would be good at. In fact, I think I'm already doing that. Where do you get trained to be a mediator? So the search began. I found out about a training center in Manhattan, the Center for Mediation and Training, and I found out that they had a training coming up in a few weeks, that spring, and I stepped into that training and I had my eureka moment. I never looked back. That happened in 2003, and I've been mediating ever since.